Hey, what's up, boys? Oh, let me ask you a cool question. Who here's build a PC? Just me? Dang. Probably should ask. I probably should ask a better question. Who here wants to build a PC? I know it's you. Hey. Ooh, you don't want to build a PC? Oh, shit, man. Hey, well, I got somebody to talk to you about the Steam machine. We trying to get you off the consoles. No PC? It's okay. We got one for you. You don't want a PS5? I don't blame you. You don't want an Xbox? Hey, come to the light side. I'm not even going to indulge asking if you want a Nintendo Switch. Because, I'm not trying to be hunted down by Nintendo, so I ain't gonna say nothing about it. But hey, let's check this video out together. Talk about, is the Steam machine worth it? And in my opinion, I haven't seen this video yet, but I would say it definitely is. But we're gonna find out together. Alright. So like I said, we have a video by More King Strats real quick, talking about, is the Steam machine worth it? So hey, let's find out what he's got to say.
I don't have to hide it. Here it is. This is the Steam machine. I made a video about this a while ago talking about
like
how I was annoyed that it costs so much damn money. And
hey, first off, that's a misconception. The Steam machine does not cost a lot of money. Because the Steam machine costs the sum of the amount of parts that it's made to create. Versus a PlayStation, which sells you the hardware at a steep or a cheaper price and then makes their money back based on the subscription of you buying your PS Plus or whatever. Same thing with Xbox. So technically, when you're buying a PS5 or Xbox One, you're not buying the full product. Like the Steam machine is selling you the sum of all of its parts, and then says your subscription free. So if you can buy all the parts, hey, you can have a Steam machine.
I wasn't sure if it was going to be worth it. I thought it was going to be $1,500. Long story short, I'm sure you guys that signed up for it, you probably forgot about it. I did too, to be honest. But a couple of months later, you end up getting the email. And the email says, hey, we still have this, or your wait list thing is gone. So if you want one, you got 3 days to buy it. And I was like, okay, I'm going to buy this thing so I can make a video and tell people if it was worth it. That's kind of the point of this channel, is that because you guys have so much support, I have the ability to afford these things and give my opinion on it, whether I think something's actually worth it or not. Not a paid promotion, nothing of that nature. And at the very least, I'll at least have a console that I can use. I have a Steam Deck. It kind of is integrated. What the hell? So is this thing worth the money? No.
No.
You want the short version? No, it is not worth the money. Is this?
He probably hit you with it. If you want this, just build a PC yourself for the same price. You could probably build a better PC or something that's comparable. Well, I want to see what he has to say.
A bad console? No, it really is. There are some pros and cons to this thing. I did buy the 512. I put it on the screen just so I had something to go off of. This is the version that I got. This is the version that I got off the wait list.
Hold on. Let's see. A semi-custom AMD Zen 4. Jeez, we're on a different generation now. Okay, 16 gigs, 8 gigs of VRAM. For that much money, honestly, you could technically build your own PC for better, right? Well, actually, in this GPU market and everything, you probably could build something like Gen 5 and everything for obviously about the same. Would it be as good? I don't know. We'll find out. Honestly, hey, if y'all want me to, I'll go on Newegg and I'll build a PC for about the price of a Steam machine to see if we can build something better than this. So, hey, y'all just let me know and put in the comments.
Was the 512 gig version with the controller. If I was going to do it, I would say that you don't really have to get a controller or the 2 terabyte. I think it's stupid that they only have 512 to 2 terabytes and there's nothing in between. I don't want to go over all of this stuff. Like, look, anybody who's telling you all of these things, I'm not saying that they're lying to you, definitely not, but this is a practical machine. This is not for people right off the bat that care about specs to the degree of knowing what's inside of this thing. This is just the plain unadulterated truth. I'm not making any of these freaking videos about these overlays and all this other stuff because this is a practical ass console, and I'm gonna give you a practical ass review. Why is this hooked up to this? I have an old CalDigit Tough Nano, which is 2 terabytes.
Funny enough, I'm sorry for pausing so much, but it's funny that he says that. So technically, I think overall you'd probably save more money by having a Steam machine versus having a Xbox or a PlayStation, and you'd have a wider category of games to play, and you would save more money in deals. So if that's honestly what you'd want, I think the Steam machine's still worth getting, or like a Steam Deck, like you talked about earlier. But I've gone away from like playing PlayStation, because I built a PC in 2021. Yeesh, I've had a PC for years now, and man, I don't think I'd ever go back. So there's not really much reason for me to build or to buy a Steam machine since I have a PC literally right here. But yeah, I think there's a lot of value in having one. So yeah, well,
this is where my games are stored,
this is for
and I just bought some 3M tape, and I'm just going to tape it to the side. I have this mounted to the wall. This is the full size of the Steam Deck. For reference, I do have an Xbox, and I do have a PlayStation. I'm a gamer through and through. My Xbox is right there. This is literally, if you took an Xbox Series X and you stack 2 of these on top, you'd have an Xbox Series X. That's the size of it. This is by far the smallest, powerful console that you will see. This is the new gaming prices of things. Do I think this thing is worth even $1,000? Hell no. Absolutely not. After I've used it for about 3 or 4 days, so I have everything I need to do to tell you about what the hell this thing is worth and if it's worth the money. First things, this does have a faceplate that you can remove. You can see inside the console. You can switch these up if you want it to fit the aesthetics of your room and just put it right back on. It's magnetic, so it doesn't take a lot to come off and come on. And then there also is a light when you turn it on here, which you can turn whatever color or cycle RGB that you want to. On the front, there are 2 USB and then one thing that you can put a mini SD card. In order to get my games off of my Steam Deck, literally, this is the one from my Steam Deck that I took out and plugged it right in, and I was able to transfer or copy a bunch of games onto my Tough Nano, and I'm going to put this back into my Steam Deck. I also have all of my emulator games, so Super Nintendo, Dreamcast, Nintendo 64, NES.
Thing.
I have thousands.
You can emulate. Oh man, you can't do that. You can't do that on the consoles. And just like I just want to remind you, look at his collection, right? Overall, 82 games. And his collections are showing up specifically by franchise. And then that goes into he has in there. But ask yourself this question. If I have 82 games on Steam versus 82 games on another console, which one do you think is cheaper? That's how I view it too, you know what I mean? So it's cheaper to buy games on Steam, which they have summer sales, constant sales, honestly, through each month. Honestly, even developer sales, it's incredible. So you're getting games all the time on just for cheaper, and you don't have to deal with other support services. Man, Steam support, they'll find anything wrong that you ask them, and they will help you out. So, I'm not selling the product. Honestly, I just really like Steam. So,
thousands of games that I've acquired over the years that I put on to this console as well. So all of my Steam library and all of those emulator games are on here. And then I have it mounted to the wall above my television. You literally can't even see it. If you're familiar with how Steam OS works, especially if you have the handheld version or the Steam Deck, which I do, it's literally the same exact interface that you have on there. So I was very familiar with how to install whatever I needed to install. And the controller is very similar to what those little tactile touchpads that are on the Steam Deck are also on here. Just for reference, this is the Steam Deck and then this is the Steam Deck controller. You can see they have the exact same layout, except this is made obviously for handheld. If you took the screen out, it would quite largely be the same. The controller, I've had people tell me that it's pretty large. I would say it is about the size of an Xbox controller, except with these little pads on. I have pretty large hands, so I don't mind that. There are also 2 little programmable buttons in the back, which also is on the Steam Deck as well. So these are largely one and the same. I have played Spider-Man 2. I have played Red Dead Redemption, and I have played, obviously not through, but enough to get a play for. I played it for a couple of hours on each. and I've also played Cyberpunk, so graphically intensive games. I have it on my TV. I have a 65-inch flat screen behind me, and it plays really well. It looks well. It doesn't look like if you have on a 4090, which I do have, but it looks very similar to like an Xbox Series X. So if you have an Xbox Series X or any type of home console and you want to save money, this is not a console for you. And I'm not going to tell you to buy it because I don't think you need to buy it. I really don't think anyone needs to buy it except for one use case, which I'll get to the end of the video. But everything else about it, it runs smoothly. I've had zero issues running it off of my SSD. If you want to buy the higher storage version, so you don't have to have an SSD on the side, that's fine. Like I said, I already had this, so I wasn't using it. So I just put my games on it and it runs fine. And once it gets taped here onto the side, it'll be above my television. There's no latency on the controller whatsoever. It runs on Bluetooth. They have this little puck that you can attach to the side, but I have not used it once. It's right here.
What his opinions
like I said, bro, I'm literally making this off the cuff.
Like
I'm not trying to make no crazy choreo. So the question is this,
let's go ahead a little bit.
that most people are asking. Do you need to get this if you know how to put together a PC, if you are a PC gamer, or if you're a person who
Yeah, but that's not the question, right? And to be honest, let's be honest. People who buy the Steam machine aren't specifically people who build a PC, right? So I build a PC, and I looked at every single component in my PC, built it myself, everything. But this is for like people who like are going from console gamers, as in like, your PlayStation, Xbox, Nintendo, and coming into the PC world. It's like their step number one to building a PC eventually.
is like trying to save money. Absolutely not worth it for all three of those people. This console is incredibly niche, and for what they are charging for it, it's just not worth the money. This is for people who are like casual type of gamers. You don't want to play on a gaming monitor. You're not playing high FPS games. You're not playing games that are really graphically intense that you're trying to push to a next level, because you can make a PC that costs way less than this that's going to have way better output. It looks good for a console game. Not a PS5 Pro. That does look better, which I do have, but a regular PS5 and that graphically pretty much the same. It plays in 4K. You want to play at 60 FPS. Anything above that, it's not going to do that well. The best part about this to me is the form factor. It is by far the smallest console that you'll get that pushes out this type of stuff. So if you want...
I'm not exactly worried about that form factor. I just don't think I'm not saying... I think it's a good review, right? Because we're not going to watch the rest of this, because it can get incredibly long. But I do think the Steam machine has some pretty good value behind it. Primarily, I don't think it's overpriced in terms of like... I think it's... If you're looking at the standard price between a Steam machine versus the PS5 Pro or whatever, of course the Steam machine's going to be more because the base components are more. Now, we'll say, because the size of it, you might be looking at some micro components, which technically are more expensive than the macro components. But like I said, you're specifically only paying for the hardware inside of the machine itself. Like I said earlier, when you're buying like a PlayStation, like I have a PS4 here. I'm gonna use this because I have a PS5 in here. So when you're buying this, you're buying this at a discount. And then the subscriptions to play online are what you're paying for. That's what's making the difference. Like I said, with a Steam machine, you're just paying for the components itself. And then the difference to be made up... Well, there is no difference to be made up, actually. Because you're just only paying for one thing and one thing only, which is the hardware. And it's up to you at the end of the day to do whatever you want at that. But you're still going through Steam on Steam machines. So they're going to make their money back with having you locked in. But again, but it's also a stepping stone still. Like, eventually, hopefully you get a PC into which you can use anything. But I do think the Steam machine has a lot of value. Personally, though, between the Steam machine and the Steam Deck, I would still recommend just getting the Steam Deck. But if you're going to be a stay-at-home gamer, sitting on your couch, just get a Steam machine. You'll overall, let's say within like 2 years, you'll save way more money by having a Steam machine versus any other console. But that's my opinion. Let me know what you all think in the comment section of, is it worth it? Give me your reasons why. And yeah, I'll catch you again on the next one. Peace.